I'm in the middle of Seattle, and I walked here from Mexico. This is the lavender honey latte.
Just down the road is Lost Lake.
Of your menu so I can remember what kind of stuff and that I get cold or hungry, I can just stop in. I was in the Capitol Hill neighborhood, maybe still am. I'm finally hiking north out of Seattle. I left my hostel this morning and I'm not gonna get very far tonight, but that's okay. But my main stop here was the Elliott Bay bookstore because I am from Oregon, so of course my favorite place in the entire world is Powell's bookstore, which takes up an entire city block and is 4 stories tall. And that one is still the best, of course. But Elliott Bay bookstore was a super fun stop. There was a big power outage on the whole block. So they had no power, but they had skylights and they were still letting us come in to browse the books. And they had, I love when they have all the staff recommendations written for you to take a look. And I shouldn't be adding more weight to my pack, but I did buy some books. Because my food bag no longer weighs like 12 pounds. Now it only weighs 2 pounds maximum. So I can use that weight for books now. And my other stops here were the Tailwind Cafe, which is a no tipping cafe because they pay everyone fair wages so you don't have to tip, which was so much less stressful than every other dining experience in the US. That was nice and delicious. I had a honey lavender latte and then I went after the bookstore to the Molly Moon ice cream place where they make their own ice cream, and I got honey lavender ice cream and iced latte ice cream. So I had a honey lavender latte 2 times in 2 different forms today. I'm now in Volunteer Park. I'm in the water tower, which I think you can go all the way up to the top for free for a view. Such a cool house. In the middle of a neighborhood. I found such a good tree. This is a really nice neighborhood. I probably should have made more of an effort while it's in Seattle to seek out crazy cool houses like these. I just love everyone's Halloween decorations. Wow, I think this is a school. Maybe. The leaves and the little berries. Ooh, this must have come down last night in the big windstorm. And I'm coming in at the very southern tail end of the Washington Park Arboretum. I haven't got to the Arboretum part yet. Okay, here's a map of the Arboretum. I'm over here. Oh, there's no way I'll be able to see all of this. Okay, I'm gonna work my way somewhere out that way. This is the stone cottage. Alright, I am now officially in the Arboretum. Here's the giant sequoias. I think the one in the neighborhood actually might have been bigger. Okay, here's the giant sequoia. I think it came from this one. Is this a rhododendron? It's gigantic. I think this area is the Japanese maples. Cool bark. That was so cute. The Japanese maple area has by far the best colors in the whole park, and everyone was there with their families and their significant others, and they were taking their pictures with the fall leaves. Okay, that was really fun. I made my way all the way in here, and then I could go that way faster, but here there's this cool island, Foster Island, so I think I'm gonna go this way, and looks like there's a trail that will get me all the way back to the city. There's like little leafy pine cone things. What are those? My app called that a Japanese hornbeam, so I need to look up why it makes those little things. I thought this was just kind of a normal willow, but the little leaves, they're like little curlicues. Someone else came along while I was trying to identify the leaf with the curly cues. And so we had a battle of the apps, and mine failed miserably. It couldn't even identify anything, and hers called it just a normal weeping willow. But every single leaf was curly, so I need to look up why that is. All right, this is Foster Point. Some houses over there. I'm looking north across, oh, what is this? Like a outlet of Lake Washington, maybe? Sports stadium over there. And then there's a freeway, and I'm gonna walk, I think, on those if they're open, hopefully. Oh, and I'm gonna go cross that bridge, I think. I think these are floating. A floating wetland marsh walk, I think, is what I'm on right now. Okay, and then here they've got a post anchored to the ground, and then these rings so they can rise and fall with the water level. It's just like a concrete sidewalk for walking. This is so cool. There's not nearly enough people out here for how cool this is. Look how waterproof their feathers are. Just beads right off. I'm going past the University of Washington, and the sports stadium that I saw, oh, sorry crows, was their stadium. Not sure why Google Maps routed me onto the deck of the Conibear shell house, but I don't mind. This is fun. Ooh, different ducks. I'm walking through the UW wetlands right now, and right next to me, I think they have a game going on. I think I'm in the horticulture garden, so they've got cool things here. And It smells really good. It smells like curry, I think. My app called it a tutsan, T-U-T-S-A-N. I might also just be really hungry right now. That vine is making great colors. Okay, and then right next to it, this one is still making really great greens. Okay, they called it the Center for Urban Horticulture in there. So cool. Oh my gosh, the people working there, that was Great State Burger. The people working there were so nice, so kind. And the onion rings were really good. That's all I got, but I bet the rest of their food is really good as well. And I think all of it is made in Washington. All of their food comes from Washington. And now I'm back on the Burke-Gilman Trail. It was right behind the restaurant. And it had me thinking about my top food experiences in Seattle. And I think number one has to be the Original Deli because it's owned by the absolute loveliest Korean lady. She is so cheerful and so kind, and we had some wonderful conversation, and she gave me so much free food. And her food's really affordable. Like, she gives big portions for a good price, which is hard to find in the middle of the city. And then the La Parisienne bakery, I went there twice because it was so delicious, and I got a really good rosemary loaf of bread. And then the Milstead and Co. coffee cafe shop in Fremont, that was really good. They had that honey lavender, no, they had the rosemary and brown sugar latte that was super good. And then not too far down was the Schilling Cider House with the grapefruit cider, which is the full one that I had. That was really good, but also the chai cider, the cider was really good. And what was the other one? Oh, strawberry rhubarb. That was tasty. And then my favorite from today was the Tailwind Cafe, where I had their honey lavender latte, which was delicious. And then Great State Burger, which I just ate at, and they were completely lovely. I'm going to be on the Burke-Gilman Trail for the rest of today. And I was just thinking, I've had such a good day of walking. In the city, actually it's great walking because you're either deep downtown where there's sidewalks, or there's just tons of green paths and parks and things like that. And I think Seattle has done a really good job of making itself very walkable. And it has been raining off and on the entire time I've been in Seattle. But it's been so fun because if I was in the mountains, this kind of rain, I would get soaked and then I would be soaked for days. Whereas here I get soaked and then I just go into a coffee shop, dry completely off, and now it's like good as new. I can go out into the rain. Ah, it's wonderful. So luxurious. I'm impressed. It is raining, and it has been raining for a while. And all those runners are still out here. Can't see them because I purposely protected their privacy. But anyways, they're all out here still on their runs, not deterred at all by the rain. Okay, and very exciting for me, my friend from high school lives in Seattle, and I'm finally far enough north that we can meet up and our schedules align, so I'm going to go stay at her house tonight, and she has 2 kids that I haven't met, so I am very excited for tonight. Okay, this is Matthews Beach.